64. I don't think this is as high as it claims to be. Okay. That's there. Cool.
Food critics and slovenly mukbangers, creators around the web are stuffing their faces with slop, or criticizing said slop every day for your entertainment. It's like a fat ass's Roman Colosseum's worth of entertainment, and I'm happily in attendance. Food and eating related influencing is a profitable lane, but it's also quite the scandalous one. And I've got the most succulent bits to share with you all today. From a TikTok food critic exposing a dick-headed chef, to a fast food reviewer erroneously framed as a bombing victim, and a challenge eater busted for consuming a household pet, these are the many scandals of online food influencers. Food reviewers hit by SUV mid-review. Now we'll be rolling into a pretty heavy story that crashed its way onto the internet in 2025. One that shattered both my conception of restaurant window side seating safety and view records for viral food influencer clips. This story begins with social media influencer Nina Unrated. Nina first became popular as a YouTube dancer and booty twerking instructor. Though in more recent years, the woman has etched a name for herself as a food reviewer and bizarro mukbanger on Instagram and TikTok. Nina's food consumption videos are truly something, and in my opinion, they have a bit of a gooner flair to them. Many of the more recent videos feature fellow food reviewer Patrick Blackwood, and in these you get a taste of Nina's approach, with her sucking and wrapping her giant Haribo gummy worm-sized lips around food, hand and fork fed to her in a suggestive manner by her accomplice.
Hey, ho! You gotta calm yourself! Hey! We ain't doing this! We are not doing this! We are not doing this! We are not I just turned on the stream, bitch! Oh my god!
Videos featuring Nina and Patrick Blackwood were already popular on TikTok, but a chance encounter with a 5,000-pound amalgamation of steel, aluminum, and plastic would make sure these two were famous for something else entirely. On August 16th, 2025, Nina and Patrick Blackwood were filming a food review at QV's Culinary Creations, a restaurant located in Houston, Texas. Things start off routinely, with the two chatting and chowing down on a luxurious spread of fine cuisine. There's even one of the signature oyster shell suck-off moments. Everything was as it should have been. But then, after about 10 minutes of mukbanging, something absolutely inconceivable happens.
Boom. Oh yeah, the car.
I reckon the driver thought this place had a drive-thru. Taking a closer look at the replay of the clip, we can see that while it was quite the destructive impact, the frame of the window and booth shielded the pair from most of the collision, though Patrick did seem to have gotten roughed up a bit. The two almost immediately admitted themselves to the hospital, and thankfully it was determined no serious injuries occurred. The absolute universally microscopic odds for something like this to happen and be caught on camera is what really trips me out. For someone to be filming a food review and then to also have some jackass smash a SUV into the booth exactly where you were filming, it's almost like this was a planned crashing of their smorgasbord. Well, no need to get conspiratorial because the truth of what led up to this insane crash would later be revealed. In an article published by Today, the owner of the restaurant, a man named Ivory Watkins, was interviewed and shined some light as to...
We are doing a reaction as We're doing reactions as I do artwork.
what had transpired
We're
from
doing a video of a guy talking about food scandal influencers.
his point of view. According to Ivory, the restaurant was mostly empty that day as staff were preparing for a private dinner party. So from what I gather, Nina and Patrick were like one of the few people that were in here eating, which also adds to the absurdity of the car hitting specifically their booth, but I'll continue. To make matters even more fucking ridiculous, Ivory further explained that the person who had slammed the SUV into the window was apparently an invited attendee of said dinner who arrived early. I mean, why park when you can just get in-restaurant car hop service? They turned that bitch into a Sonic drive-in. As to why exactly the SUV driver smashed through the wall like Kool-Aid Man, that answer would later be provided by the Harris County Sheriff's Office. It appears the driver had accidentally switched their vehicle into reverse, thinking it was in park. And when they released the brake, the SUV rolled backwards and slammed through the window. This explanation does make a lot of sense because if it was a vehicle actually driving at speed, I have no... Jesus Christ, it's like a fucking... That's a wasp. Oh, hell no, bruh. You fucking made a huge mistake, dude. Oh my God, he's right there.
I know that feeling. Like you're just working, right? You're just working, and then it's the most biggest ass bug is right next to you. Like everything just is gone. All sense of reason is out the window, bro. Everything's gone.
One-shotted. Media outlets later caught
Hey,
up with
thank
Mr.
you for the tap. I
Watkins in
appreciate
person,
that.
and he breaks down
Thank you,
everything
Straw Hat.
in this first
It's
interview
always
that
the
they got.
one. It's always the One Piece dudes that's always on my side. I love the One Piece fandom. I love the One Piece fandom. Oh my God! I wish more people like the One Piece fandom. Jesus fucking Christ! Oh my God! I love the One Piece fandom.
Called away.
They were getting
They
into
always
the
give me.
salmon
Oh my God! I love them.
sliders, and then I literally 2 seconds turned and went this way. And talking to the guests that came into the door, the boom, the crash came, and
In that moment,
Damn.
the car literally
Damn.
came in about right here, and then she started backing up. And then she backed out of the window.
So yeah, the clip was a viral phenomena and the buzz around it came and went, and many assumed that would be the end of the matter altogether. You know, it being a remarkable freak incident with all parties walking away thankful that nobody was seriously hurt. Well, recent developments suggest this controversy is far from over. Back in August of this year, CBS reported that the two influencers in Nina and Patrick had initiated a $1 million lawsuit against the restaurant, alleging that there
Why?
were no protective barriers installed to protect
What?
customers from events such as this.
Are you kidding
They
me?
suggested negligence on the restaurant's part, accusing them of not being proactive
No, bro,
about
this is
customer
stupid.
safety.
I love
It's
how
too early to
Bugs- I
tell how
saw-
this thing is going to shake out,
Why
but
is
they're
that
being
reading your stuff?
represented by Tony Busby, who is notable for being involved in the Diddy lawsuits and also representing the woman who sued Shannon Sharp, which I discussed in a previous
Artextric
video
said.
about Gooners if you want to
Artextric
check
said.
that out.
Artextric
It'll be
said.
interesting to see where this one goes, but I must admit I'm a bit saddened that
Artextric
it's being
said.
litigated. I feel bad for everyone involved in this situation except for the driver. But like, I think it's senseless to go the legal route here. Come on, can it not just be a funny viral clip without all the lawsuits?
Yeah.
We got a mukbanger down in the ER with a ruptured stomach, so I'll keep this brief. Finding a healthcare provider can be a stressful process, and I think we can all relate to a time where we went in blind to a doctor that we found off of a Google search. Today's sponsor, ZocDoc, can help you out here. ZocDoc is a free website that helps you search through providers in your area and make a more informed decision about who you see. The best part about ZocDoc, in my opinion, well, you avoid the phone calls and secretaries, and you can book an appointment right there on the site. Useful filters will allow you to see if providers accept your insurance, and you can also filter by distance. Usually with ZocDoc, you can find an appointment that's anywhere between 24 and 72 hours out, but in some cases, they have day of appointments that you can book. ZocDoc has over 100,000 providers in their network, and they cover the specialties too, which is great for if you just have like a one-off issue. Say you have a rash on your skin but don't have a dermatologist, ZocDoc makes it easy to find one quickly. So stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/wavywebsurf to book an appointment today. The link's also in the description. Now, I gotta go sew up this mukbanger's stomach. See ya. The report of the week bombing death incident. This story involves one of my personal favorite YouTubers being framed as a child victim of a deadly terrorist attack. On May 22nd, 2017, the city of Manchester was hit by one of the deadliest terrorist attacks in the history of the United Kingdom. At approximately 10:30 p.m., a crazed suicide bomber named Salman al-Bedi launched an attack against the Manchester Arena after the conclusion of an Ariana Grande concert. The attack killed 22 people and injured dozens more. Footage of the crisis quickly spread online, showing hundreds of panicked concert goers screaming in terror and running away in confusion. Aside from the abject horror of this terroristic violence, the media also highlighted another distressing component to this attack. That being many children were present and they got temporary.
I love bugs. I saw the bug on my desk once, and I was just playing with it. I think it became good friends before the teacher killed it. I love bugs. I know, Red. I know how much you like bugs.
Separated from their parents during the chaos. This element will become relevant shortly. Sadly, despite how horrible this was, the age-old tradition of making a mockery out of horrific tragedies remained true even with this Manchester situation, with many attempting to use the incident as an opportunity to garner clicks off of mean-spirited jokes and hoaxes. Think along the lines of creating viral hoax posts falsely attributing Sam Hyde as being a mass shooter or like the ghost of Kiev kind of thing. Several online trolls began posting random photos of teens and children, falsely claiming that these individuals were missing in an attempt to create confusion online. And one of the most notable figures used as fodder to perpetuate this hoax was none other than the internet's premier fast food reviewer, The Report of the Week. The Report of the Week is a fast food review channel created by eccentric shortwave radio enthusiast and suit-wearing food critic John Jurasek, who goes by the online moniker Review Bruh. While he's been making videos since the early 2010s, John saw a huge renaissance around the 2017 era, becoming not just a popular channel, but in many ways he became a living meme. This was all thanks.
The man is born old. The boy is born old, bro. He just looks old. He looks like someone's crypt keeper. He looks like he works at the graveyard. He is the graveyard shift. This is no offense to him. He just has that look, like a man who looks like this, an old white guy, who looks like this. Tall, frail, skinny. He looks like he's into some creepy ass stuff.
Thanks to his aforementioned eccentric nature, making him a beloved figure on sites like Reddit and 4chan.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
Though while his popularity on these sites may have been good in terms of views, the internet's obsession with him combined with his youthful appearance, well, you might imagine where this is going. In the wake of the bombing, a Twitter user named Gamergate Antifa made an obvious troll account
Bro named himself Gamer, and you don't think these people are crazy terrorists? You can't tell me they're not. You can't tell me they're not. What the hell? You named yourself Antifa? Oh my god.
Seeing the following tweet
Gamergate
with an image of Review Bruh. My son was in the Manchester Arena today, and he's not picking up my call. Please help me. This post ended up going viral, garnering over 10,000 likes and 20,000 retweets in short time. While many knew it was a shitpost by a troll, the nature of its virality meant it spread over into the mainstream, causing some to genuinely want to help try to find this missing son. While perhaps not intentionally malicious at first, this tweet quickly became an issue for John, who had so many people checking in about his safety that he actually had to create a video clarifying that he wasn't harmed and that the whole thing was a hoax started by internet trolls.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. This evening, I don't know if you've heard it or not, but some people propagated a certain rumor claiming that I was a victim in the attack in Manchester at the Ariana Grande concert. I'm just making this video to let you know that I am indeed alive, well, and okay, here in the United States, not the UK. And this unfortunately was just an effort done by various trolls and website users, certain website users, just to try to mislead the general public with fake news and just to try to get some laughs out of it.
This guy truly is a class act. I mean, throwing the suit and tie on and going live like he's Walter Cronkite to dispel false 4chan allegations about his untimely demise. This is why Review Bruh is the GOAT. With John's video obliterating any credibility given to the tweet, the author of said hoax post received a great deal of criticism for the burden they had placed not only on Review Bruh, but also for making a mockery out of real victims. Gamergate Antifa was actually contacted by news publication The Guardian. They managed to have a brief exchange with the anonymous troll, who when asked about their motivations as to why they did it, said, "It has become a sort of competition of who can fool the news. The only way to give it enough credibility is to fool a lot of people." Basically, they're making a joke out of dead children to own the mainstream media. Good one. Gamergate Antifa was completely unapologetic, going as far as claiming they would do it again, and suggested hoaxes like this would continue so long as people continued to fall for them. Though what wouldn't continue was Gamergate Antifa's activity as a Twitter user.
And you don't think people who are about that life is stupid? They're not mentally well individuals. You can't tell me what you tell your ed team. You're normal. You're probably crazy. What?
As they were permanently suspended and would never be heard from again. Thankfully, Review Bruh was not a victim of the Manchester bombing, but he would fall victim to something else entirely that was in many ways life-threatening. A little over 2 years following this situation in Manchester, Review Bruh would post an image of himself laid up in a hospital bed. While many feared the worst, such as a terminal illness or a fast food-induced cancer diagnosis, John would reveal that he had actually been seriously injured after falling from a ladder when retrieving something from his attic. He writes, "Unfortunately, I ended up in the hospital today. I took a bad fall this morning. I was doing work in the attic, lost footing, and fell 12 feet onto concrete. I hit the back of my head and tailbone hard. Got cut up elsewhere. Thankfully, the head injury isn't life-threatening." He would later upload a video further clarifying his fall and the injuries from it, and thankfully he's made a full recovery since the incident.
I was doing some work in the attic and I lost my footing and fell about 12 feet onto a very hard floor. I think it was concrete. Needless to say, you can see it was my mistake. It was, I messed up, but for reference, I was trying to get to that board there, and I misjudged my step.
He's such an old person,
and
he's just born old.
So did I.
That's the food review guy.
Yeah, he's just born old. You gotta bless his heart. He's not even a bad I'm not saying he's a bad guy or anything. He's just born old. Everything about him is old. Like everything he says, how he says it, when he says it, timing and everything is just so old.
Of course. And then with that, I fell down from there onto the ground here. I never anticipated, never expected such a response. So I just most sincerely wanted to thank each and every one of you for your support, for your kind words, your thoughts. Thank you all so much. It really means a lot to me, and I just never expected so much. It's incredible.
You know who he looks like? Bruh. Now I know who he looks like.
I think was read or something said he reminds me of Willy Wonka, his voice and how he speaks in my opinion.
Right? But this is who he reminds you of. Maybe let's let me see if I can zoom this in. Hold on. Okay. I'm gonna grab this. Let's make the picture big real quick. Okay, that's what he looks like, right? Okay. This is who he looks like. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if you agree at least. Or at least you can see it, right? Let me see.
The Nut Juggler asks, you won't mind if I put you in my R3 fanfic, right?
I don't mind. Bro. 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 Come on. Come on, don't tell me you don't see it.
Bright Roclos said Lamau.
Oh. You got a little dirt in your eye. You gonna cry?
Adding with read or something said I kinda have seed Lamau, like a younger version of him.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my god. Bro. You know, Peter, I'm a bit of a scientist myself. They look like brothers. They look like at least they're related to a degree. They kind of look alike. Not gonna lie. Yeah. Hey, Brewer kind of worked out. He could have been the next Spider-Man.
Adding with read or something said cousins mainly.
Yeah, cousins. I see cousins. That was fun. Bro looks alike. Okay, let me fix it. I'll fix it back. I gotta do it delicately because whenever I use the vertical version, it just likes to fuck off and do stupid shit. I think that was the right size. I'll put it down a little bit more like this so you guys can see it better. I don't mean it. Okay. I feel like I'm just in the way. Like, not me, but I feel like because I'm on TikTok, the items at the top of the TikTok, like the interface kind of fucks like the visualization of the video. But I don't want to make it too small because it looks too like compact. Oh, that's weird. Anyway.
The mukbang deaths. In the world of food-related content, I'd say really the only subgenre that's actually inherently controversial by nature is mukbang. These videos essentially involve creators binge eating grotesquely large portions of food on camera, often in slovenly fashion. Many influencers in this space boast expansive waistlines and dipping sauce-smeared faces. There are obvious
I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of for this. I'm not for like watching it, I'm for doing it myself. But I don't want to be chubby as fuck. I don't want to be fat. I don't want to be fat. I don't want to be fat. That's gonna suck. Cause like I'm skinny, but like I don't want to. Pretty lean, but like Jesus Christ.
obviously potential health concerns with creating this sort of content on a daily basis. Some have truly lost themselves to the mukbang, becoming morbidly obese. Influencers such as Foodie Beauty come to mind here, but there are a plethora of others who have taken their eating too far for the sake of content and money. The natural worry with this sort of thing is that, well, these obese Jesus Christ. It's like an insect invasion today. The natural worry with this sort of things is that, well, these obese mukbang influencers are gonna fucking die. And while I'm unaware of such cases occurring here in the United States, there have been at least 2 instances of international mukbangers entering the grave early. One of which was actually live streaming when it happened. On June 14th, 2024, a Chinese mukbang creator named Pan Zhao Ting would be...
Oh, man. Buddy. Ooh, that's rough, buddy. That is rough. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you look like the prime candidate. You look like Optus prime candidate for this.
Hospitalized after partaking in a continuous binge-eating mukbang session while live. Pan had become infamous over the years for continuously escalating the scale of her eating content to include more and more food with each upload, leading to her becoming morbidly obese. This resulted in the development of numerous health issues that would eventually compound in deadly fashion.
I wonder if people get pissed off when people like Matt, what's his face? Scotty, or whatever his name is, the one we was watching food. I wonder if people get extremely angry when these people eat like X amount of food and don't gain any weight whatsoever. It must piss them off beyond anything. I'm pretty sure that's what happens a lot. I'm pretty sure. And then that's why they tune in, just to see if they even gain any weight, just to see if they do. And it must piss them off beyond anything.
The Daily Mail reported that the aforementioned mukbang stream had lasted close to 10 hours, with the woman eventually consuming an estimated 22 pounds of food until finally collapsing. The details surrounding what happened are pretty disturbing. From what I understand, she passed out live and the viewers were in the chat panicking. They're not able to help her other than call police or EMS. She was hospitalized soon after this and pronounced dead. The autopsy revealed that Pan had passed away from her stomach literally bursting from the copious amounts of food that she had consumed.
Bro, are you serious? Did she really die that way?
Said visit Artextric's Ko-fi page at.
Oh, what a way to go, bro. Oh, that sucks. That must have been horrible.
That was read or something said I'm sorry, but that's extremely hard to do and go through. That's scary, dude.
Bro, that's shocking to hear. Like, it's not a heart attack, It's her stomach literally burst while eating. Bro, that's not that ooh. That is yeah, no. I'm not. No. It is not that deep. It is not that deep. The money must be good, bro. The money must be beyond like ludicrous as shit. I'm telling you. There's no way. There is no way that the money ain't good if you're doing this shit. Because you have to have the money to buy this, and this is a giant tax write-off. That's pretty much what it is. But, like, there's no way, bro. No, we gotta... That's not happening, no.
While unfortunate, as mentioned before, this isn't the only incident of its kind. A year later, 24-year-old mukbanger Efekan Coulter would succumb a similar, albeit not live-streamed fate. This Turkish influencer was severely obese and created mukbang-adjacent content, gorging himself until he was literally unable to stand up on his own. Mukbang killed this individual, with Coulter being hospitalized related to issues surrounding his obesity, dying on March 7th of 2025 at the age of 24.
Damn, at 24, bro! Oh, bro, no! Oh, bro, you had your life still ahead of you, bro. Like, 24? You died at 24, bro? You never die in your 20s. You never die in your 20s. You don't go full death in your 20s.
At Kiki_mama said RIP loudly.
Yeah, RIP. Hey, Kiki. What's going on? Hey, Kiki. Kiki, do you love me?
Dixie Kitchen scandal. Imagine operating a craft restaurant and being exposed for deceptively selling fat.
$10,000 per month. Coming from Wikipedia, lol.
What? Bro, I'm gonna quit. I'm quitting. I'm quitting this art shit. I'm about to buy some food tomorrow. I'm quitting.
Mama said hi.
Nice to have you in this stream.
Or something said LOL.
I am quitting right now. Are you kidding me? 10,000? I'm over here trying to make a chibi drawing move. And I just put that at 400. It's only about good 10 grand a month. Bro, I'm about to start myself a channel. I'm about to get fat tomorrow.
Kiki underscore mama said don't quit. I love it. Thumbs up emoji.
I hope so. I wish. If you guys are true about that, stay in the stream. Interact with me. I'm trying to build a community with y'all. Y'all never stay.
Said I love your art plans and no quit.
Oh man. I just wish you guys stayed more often. Maybe it's my stupid hot takes. Maybe that's what scares y'all away. I don't know. Just wish you guys stayed more.
Fast food
It's lonely at the top.
as one of your main dishes. This is the story of the Sweet Dixie Kitchen Popeye scandal. About a decade ago,
I
the
understand.
Sweet Dixie Kitchen was a hotspot for
I understand. I get it.
Kiki underscore mama said Sri. It's just I get busy 24/7. Loudly crying face emoji.
It's fine, Keek. It's alright.
Southern fried comfort food in Long Beach, California. Most of the reviews for the business in its heyday were positive. Polite staff, a great seating environment, and above all, good food. However, this southern cooking oasis in the big city had a country fried secret they were keeping from customers that, when revealed on a large scale, threatened to ruin its owner's livelihood. One of the most popular items at the Sweet Dixie Kitchen was, of course, its fried chicken. California isn't necessarily known for their chicken, but this place had a recipe that was suspiciously good for them being so far away from the Mason-Dixon line.
Wait a minute. It does have drugs in it?
Some might even go as far as to say that the chicken was finger-licking good. The scandal emerged with a Yelp review posted by a man named Tyler in early October of 2017. In it, he made some startling accusations. Tyler claimed that he had witnessed employees sneaking in a large quantity of boxes consisting of Popeye's chicken, bringing it into the restaurant's kitchen, apparently noticing the covert supply drop one day while he was eating at the restaurant. The implication was that Sweet Dixie Kitchen's most famous dish, the fried chicken, was actually just Popeye's. I mean, these people were serving fast food disguised.
Discord from showing a bunch of art. Like
By the way, I got banned from your Discord from showing a bunch of art, like a lot. What? No way. Where were you sharing it in? Because you have to share it in the art section. Like, what type of art were you sharing? The hell? We don't ban people because they make art. I got banned for spam.
Underscore mama said I got banned.
Oh,
for
maybe
spam.
you was spamming too fast. So they thought you was a bot.
Kiki underscore mama said I was.
Oh, then you were spamming too much. Then they probably the mod or the bot thought you was a bot. Just how much did you spam?
Underscore mama said
yeah, because it stops people from like trying to be crazy and put insane things and try to put as much insane thing as fast as possible before they get like kicked out.
Read or something said the average amount is apparently $16/hour on YouTube. But with your sub count, I think you would make maybe $19.47 per hour.
Fuck.
At Kiki underscore mama said sorry.
An hour? Wait. Holy shit. Like, wait. You said per hour, right? $19? If I had that sub, like, with my sub count 7 times, say I stream for like about 7 to 8 hours, pretty much working out numbers. I'll say 6. Let's say the minimum 6. Let's put the minimum 6 hours. That's a day times 7 days.
Read or something said that's from ZipRecruiter.
That's from Zip. Okay, so every week I'll be making $817.74 a week times 4. I'll be making $3,000 a month times 12, and then as a salary I make $39,000. That's not a lot in like grand scale things, but it's I don't think that's worth a living yet. I think to say you can make a living is when you're making about 5,000. I think 5,000 is a good estimate of like a living range if you stay within your means.
Or something said wait. Plaza don't quit hard lol.
I understand, but like you gotta get people like listen. I have almost 100,000 followers on TikTok, and I almost have 10,000 on YouTube. And you see the numbers that's sitting here. We have 2 people in there on TikTok. We have 3 people on YouTube. What does that tell you? They're not here because they want to see me or see my work. They just want to see anime titties. And when I'm not drawing anime titties, you see what happens, right? I get a like okay, so like when I'm doing traditional work and I'm drawing like an anime girl, you see how many I got 200 follows and within like less of 4 hours, right? So like that tells you right there on a Monday. On a Monday too. On a Monday. So that tells you right there who is the audience that is coming into my streams. It's just gooner idiots who claims that they're not gooner, but they like to call me gooner, but they like to come in and ask me for work after calling me gooner all damn day. So that tells you right there who's the kind of audience I'm pulling. So that's why I'm trying to veer away from that shit, and I'm doing everything but. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I'm trying to avoid that.
Yada 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 Goki said bunch of kids.
Bunch of kids and idiots and Gunner lovers, like they're low-key just Gunner idiots. So I'm trying to veer away from that. And the same people who come into my stream likes to refer to me as Gunner is like the same people who they will argue it, but they'll also stay for it. So like if I'm drawing like say a puppy, they won't come in here. If I'm drawing someone like Zoro, they won't come in here. But God forbid I draw a bitch with no face, no hair, no skin. I'm drawing like a literal female skeleton. Think of the money, bro. Think of the fame.
Bright said happened every time grinning face with
Every
sweat
time.
emoji.
I can literally draw a female skeleton. If they can't identify that as female, therefore I'm a gooner. Kissies is. So that's what I'm trying to avoid this.
_mama said kids these days expressionless face emoji.
That's why I made the promise is once I hit 100,000 on TikTok, which will be probably next week or two.
Adiguis read or something said honestly same dude. People these days do D.
These days, yeah, I get you. So like that's why I'm trying to. That's why I said when I hit 100,000 and 10K on YouTube, my main focus is to fix my audience. That is my literal focus because I noticed something that my sister is doing similar to what I'm doing. Not exactly what I'm doing, but her audience is a lot more engaged with her and she is significantly smaller than I am. So that tells me I'd rather have an engaging audience than a big ass number. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather have 15 people talking in my stream than have 200,000 people who follow me and only 2 is in here. That shit looks wild and stupid at the same time. You know what I'm saying? But some of them come in here and say, "Oh, I didn't know you were streaming. TikTok doesn't notify me that you were streaming," which I kind of believe them to a degree.
Read or something said that's true TBH. That's how you get real subs.
Yeah, and
At Kiki _mama said my lil bro posts videos on my phone at midnight BTW.
at midnight. But like the thing is, I'm trying to steer away clear from it. That's why I'm not doing a lot of anime girl drawings anymore. I only did the swimsuit summer event because I was under contractual obligation by the sponsor to do that. That was the only reason why I even did all that. That's the only reason.
Bright said to be fair, TikTok barely notifies me.
I understand. I believe you, Bri, because every time when I've seen several times when I said, guys, I'm gonna go play Fortnite, I'm gonna play this, I'm gonna do this.
Mama said he's 10 and he's already gooning to AI skull emoji, loudly crying face emoji.
You know, it's just inevitable at this point. Like this is why I tell my students and my mods, don't try to jump off the platform because they're using AI to, scrape your work, because if you move from like you say Instagram to like Facebook does it now to like Twitter does it now to every popular platform, it's going to get to a point where it's going to be everywhere. So why move around? Just stick where you are and just keep doing what you're doing. If it ruins the whole thing, then so be it. But trying to jump around and trying to figure out where's the next safe place is inevitable. It's like trying to hide from the flood when it's going to engulf the entire earth. You can't hide from the water that's going to drown you anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it's like him gooning to AI slop is going to be as normalized as boys who was on the internet in 2010 looking at
Kiki _ mama said at least AI can't draw hands 100 years into the future. AI somehow draws perfectly.
Well, we'll see. Yeah.
This is like Paula Deen tier home cooked poultry when it was this stuff, which is actually pretty fucking good, by the way. Tyler says that he decided to test his theory out by ordering the chicken and waffles, and he claimed that it tastes.
Then how do I know you put good effort to the product?
Hey, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I be seeing YouTube doing that shit. They'll be pushing AI commercials, not thinking I don't see it.
Something said, I understand it's cheaper, but it breaks trust a bit.
No, it does. It really does break trust. You're not wrong. You are not wrong to say that. You are absolutely right on that. It shows how scummy, because they're looking at it as money. They're just trying to save money, but they're not seeing how this is going to backfire. They don't see it. When people are money hungry, they don't see the bigger picture.
Mama asks, have you ever drew symmetrically?
Yeah, I have. We're doing that right now, actually. If you're saying without the symmetrical tool, I've tried that before. It's hard, but I've done it before.
Suspiciously like Popeyes. Apparently, this guy was some sort of chicken expert. Tyler's hunch was confirmed when he confronted the waiter about the sus chicken, and this waiter seemingly admitted to the Southern Fried subterfuge. Apparently wanting to keep things on the low, the restaurant comped the guy's meal to keep him quiet, and they went their separate ways. But Tyler was no hush puppy, and thus his Yelp review was created. Tyler concluded his scathing expose by challenging the restaurant to come clean about what they were doing. You know, essentially committing fried chicken stolen valor. A felony crime that could get you court-martialed by Colonel Sanders. Seeing that the chicken was out of the coop, the restaurant's owner, Kimberly Sanchez, attempted damage control and would admit to using Popeye's tenders in some of their dishes. Here is her rather hilariously tasteless response. Hi, Tyler. We proudly serve Popeye's spicy tenders, the best fried chicken anywhere, and from New Orleans, which are delivered twice a day. So whatever to you and your little review, like it was some great exposure. And whatever to you, dude. We do what we do and bring Long Beach the best food. Mostly made here, but we always get by with a little help from our friends, and we don't want it any other way. Now, in fairness to Kimberly, there does exist an archived post from before this incident where the restaurant seemingly admits to using Popeye's chicken in a public fashion. But this post had little visibility and was certainly not something openly advertised in the store itself. I mean, come the fuck on, it is patently absurd to consider yourself an American Southern style comfort food restaurant, and your fried chicken isn't even your own recipe. Like, even worse than that, it's fast food Popeye's chicken. Are you kidding me? What a complete fucking joke. This is like the worst crime imaginable. Tyler's truly baffling discovery caught the attention of the local media, who descended on the restaurant and got an interview from Kathy herself. She defended her use of Popeyes, characterizing it as an ingredient.
I'm not gonna lie to you, that might be a lawsuit coming. That might be a lawsuit coming there somewhere. I feel like there's going to be a lawsuit on that. I feel like you're not being transparent with your customers, and that's going to lead to bad things.
We take the food and use it as an ingredient in our dish. So I make the biscuit, we make the coleslaw, we make the tomato jam, and I needed a fried chicken for my dish. I don't fry chicken here.
The report also contained an interview with a blogger named Brian Addison, one of the Sweet Dixie Kitchen's harshest critics. Brian felt that because the restaurant hadn't properly disclosed the fact that they were using Popeyes, they were operating a deceptive operation, even alluding that it could be fraud. The argument was that Popeye's chicken was significantly cheaper than the price that they were charging for the food that they included it in. They were upcharging Popeyes and selling it as authentic cuisine. It does seem pretty unethical. A later report from Inside Edition would also end up going viral and further blasted the restaurant. And here Kathy says the quiet part out loud. She admitted the reason it wasn't disclosed is that she was concerned about violating Popeye's trademarks or copyright.
When people order it, we tell them it's not on my menu as Popeye's chicken because I can't get the approval from Popeyes.
Scrolling through the comments of this video, there are a shocking amount of people defending Kathy's choice to covertly serve Popeyes. You know, people are like, it's not that big of a deal. And while I might agree with you if this was some sort of small-time mom and pop shop or a gas station that served cheap bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits, what Kathy did here was just wrong. How would you feel if you went to a restaurant that prided itself on serving authentic Italian food, only to later find that the fettuccine alfredo was picked up from Olive Garden down the block? Like, that's just not right. While an extremely damaging controversy, Kathy's restaurant did manage to survive for a couple more years, but it did later close its doors. It's reported that the restaurant went out of business in 2019 and was taken over by new ownership altogether and turned into something else. And for those curious, no, Popeyes didn't sue. Rather, they actually opted to use Kathy's blunder as a promotional opportunity. A publication known as Eater has reported shortly before the nationwide launch of Popeye's chicken sandwich, well, they actually collaborated with Sweet Dixie, allowing some customers to try the sandwich at Kathy's restaurant before it came out, which was a pretty based Popeyes move. After Sweet Dixie was shut down, the new owners of the place redesigned and revamped the spot, opening a place called Arise Bistro, which is a hip breakfast and brunch spot that is quite successful. And by the look of some of the menu item pictures, I think they're actually using their own chicken recipe. The Instagram Makeup Eater. While most of the people we've discussed today have been more traditional fast food adjacent creators, this next entry is unique in the sense that she's a food influencer while not technically featuring anything you would describe as edible in her videos. Guava Shui Shui, better known by her online moniker Guava Beauty, was a Taiwanese woman who made content about beauty products. The unique gimmick that garnered her the most attention was the fact that she actually ate many of the products she reviewed and commented on the flavor. Some of you out there probably—
That's not a good idea. Why would you do this? Why would you do this? Why would you do this? What the hell?
have a baby or dog that has tried this before. This makeup eating content resulted in some controversy for Miss Guava, as internet users considered it not only unsafe, but thought it could also influence kids to potentially consume dangerous makeup products. Though Guava dismissed such criticisms, and with many of these videos still up on her Instagram page to this very day, you can see she went on to make dozens more of them. With thousands of followers and a growing channel, it seemed like the sky was the limit. But then, out of nowhere, in May of 2025, she died. The tragic
Oh, well, there you get. Well, wait, let's see what caused her to die.
discovery was made by her parents, who later issued this statement regarding Guava's passing. Thank you to everyone who has liked, left a message, and laughed with her, and thank you for your love and support. She really keeps it in her heart and cherishes it very much. Guava Shui Shui just changed her place and continued to shine. When we meet again one day, she should have already unboxed the Angel-specific co-branded makeup and mukbang over there. While many headlines emphasize the fact that she was known for eating beauty products, it's actually unclear whether that was the cause of her death. The specific cause hasn't been revealed. Doing a little bit of digging into the matter of lethality in regard to makeup consumption, it seems most makeup and beauty products are relatively harmless if accidentally consumed in small quantities. Keyword here is small. But I think given the nature of her content, you can't help but wonder. Though that goes out of the window if, let's say, Guava ate something she didn't realize she was allergic to. It's all conjecture on my behalf, but that's the story of the woman who ate makeup and died. The TikToker who caused a restaurant shutdown. In the era of social media, all it takes is one person with a handful of followers to give a bad review, and that goes viral. Well, your restaurant's cooked. Though what's insane about this case is the restaurant that got cooked, well, they actually invited the reviewer to their spot. In late July of 2025, a video was posted to TikTok by then-fledgling online food reviewer It's Carla BB. This video was different from her typical ones. She wasn't reviewing a unique dish from a boutique restaurant. Rather, it was her venting for close to 5 minutes about a negative experience she had with staff at an upscale restaurant/wine bar located in San Francisco called the Kiss Cafe. In it, Carla addresses what she saw as rude and demeaning behavior from staff during the visit. Staff who apparently actually invited her to review food there.
I don't know if I'm gonna post this video because I'm like still shaking and I feel so frazzled, but I just left a restaurant collaboration crying. I had a TikTok collab with a new restaurant in Hayes Valley that I was really excited for. I had it planned since last week. My reservation was at 5:30, but I went a little early at 5:10, so it was just me. My husband was gonna meet me there. When I get there, I'm greeted by the host and I introduce myself, tell him I'm here for the collab, and he was actually the guy I was speaking on Instagram with about it, so we were on the same page and ready to go. I started to film around the restaurant because I like to do that early on when there's less people. And after filming for a bit, I sit down at the table that's prepped for me, and it's a bar counter seat. I'm continuing to film the setup in the kitchen and stuff because it's really cute, but I hear the host and this other guy talking. And this other guy is behind the counter, so it's a small restaurant. He's like 2 or 3 feet away from me, so I can hear everything they're saying.
It appears there was some sort of miscommunication with management and whoever invited her, because when Carla got there, well, it seems some workers, notably the head chef at this establishment, didn't think Carla had enough clout to get special treatment and was confused as to why she was even invited in the first place. They were literally big broing this girl.
Saying what about her Instagram, how many followers does she have there, and I don't use my Instagram for food, it's just my private Instagram. So this guy tells him that I have like 1,300 followers, and he is
1,300 followers? That don't sound so high. I don't think that's worthy. I think when you hit like 50,000 or like 100,000, I think that's worthy of that time. Oh, shit, I think at minimum 25,000, but I think the minimum should be like 50,000, to be honest.
not having it, saying to the host that he shouldn't have invited me and that this was a mistake and that this was bad. And then he says, is she dining alone? Who else is coming? And the host says that I have a +1. And then he says, and this +1's late, but no one was late. I was there early. Mind you, this is all happening in front of me, and they know that I can hear because we are so close to each other. At this point, I am turning red because I'm so embarrassed and I feel really disrespected, but the new guy comes to me and
Why do you feel disrespected? I don't see. The thing is, I don't understand is this. He's just feeling concerned because he doesn't want to give more than he already has to do if he's the owner or what the case may be. He's just doing anything normal that anyone else is. I don't think what he's saying is rude.
Mike has said, oh, the bat ears are cute.
Yeah, very cute. She's the bat ears are cute. Like the bat ears are cute. I thought you said batty for a split second. Yeah, she's cute.
And it was read or something said, hello, Mike.
I don't think anything he said was technically wrong. He was just concerned that she's not taking advantage of them because she's getting free food. He's pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he doesn't know how it works, but at least be like, understanding. I understand where he's coming from because, like, I wouldn't want that happening to someone I know to be taken advantage of because of whatever the hell. So I don't think it's anything technically wrong with what he said.
Introduce myself, I shake his hand, and I'm telling him that I'm still excited about this collab. Immediately he says, did you do any research on this restaurant? Do you know what we do? Do you know who we are? And mind you, they're really new. They don't have a website, but I know they're...
Ears too. I like the pink bits of the ears. I think it was you were doing earlier.
Yeah, I'm doing the inside of the ear. It's always a rearranging and trying to make sure everything stays up to snuff to each other.
Menu front and back, because whenever I go to a restaurant, I study the menu because I know what I like to order and I want to know what the restaurant is that I'm collabing with. I tell him that you guys don't have a website, but I know you are a wine bar and you serve smaller bites. He is smirking while he's listening to me and saying that I didn't do any research and that he thinks that there's been some miscommunication. He asks for my TikTok, which clearly you've done no research about me as well. And he starts scrolling through and playing my TikToks on full volume at the restaurant. And not even my page, just the page that comes up when you search my name. After scrolling like 2 times...
Yeah, that's kind of... Now he's being disrespectful. If you're so concerned that she's taking advantage of y'all because he's trying to get free food, go do the research in the back and see if she's being legitimate. You don't have to do this right in front of everyone. That's just kind of rude. You're just being confrontational for the sake of being confrontational. Like, you're just being an asswipe. Like, what are you doing?
He says to me that he doesn't think my videos are at the level at which he wants his restaurant to be represented. He goes on to say that my audience and my followers are not the kind of people that are going to be at his restaurant. It seemed like he was insinuating that my followers would not be able to afford to eat at this restaurant.
So if this restaurant
To be honest with you, when you really think about it, dude, she's already here. I might also just give her what she needs, because when you think of it this way, she's not at the follower level now as she is, but you never know, she might blow up tomorrow, and then next thing you know, because if this is something she's trying to do as a legitimate job where she has a TikTok and stuff, and she's really trying, I would just give her what she needs and go. It's just a little bit of food, it's a little bit of free food. I get it. You don't want to waste money, but when you really think about it, this might benefit you in the long run, because if she blows up, you can say, "Oh, that so and so used to eat here," or you can literally say that with bravado, and then people's like, "Oh, she went there. I want to go there." You know what I'm saying? When you sit there and just being a total asshat to her because you think she's trying to steal food, she already has the follow. Well, she doesn't have the following the way that you want, but you don't know, she might blow up tomorrow, right? She might get viral tomorrow, and she might do the video again here, and with bigger numbers, that brings more customers to your establishment. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, she looks like a petite girl. She doesn't look like she eats a bunch of food. If anything, you're just dropping about, what, $40 worth of food on her? Probably. She's gonna probably get something that's worth like $40. That's it. Like, I don't think you guys are giving her a bunch of catering food like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're just being difficult for the sake of just causing trouble.
manager or chef or whatever wasn't a scumbag piece of shit, the right thing to do here was, hey, we didn't realize you weren't clouded up. We invited you by mistake, but you're here.
Yes!
It's on us.
It's on us! Thank you! You know what I'm saying? That's how you treat your customers or a potential customer to come back. That's what I'm saying. You're already here. You came here early, so that means you're definitely probably serious. You didn't come here late. You had a +1. That +1 is not even late. They're not late. She's just early. Right? Let the +1 and her come here. Give her the food. You're probably dropping about $40.
Said visit Artextric.
You know what I'm saying? Like, at max, probably $100. Under $100. You're not going like some skyrocket. You're not doing a mukbang. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not doing something insane. I don't think so. Just give her what she needs. It's not going to cost you too much. And in the long run, if she becomes something, she will definitely blow up your stuff again. It's more potential customers for you. Do you see how smart that is?
Read or something said it doesn't make sense why he wouldn't do that. It's better for the long run.
He's a dumbass. He's being an asshole for the sake of being an ass. He's not thinking long term. He's an idiot. See, I give a shit.
Said, you're right. It's a better profit.
I give a shit about my customers who comes to my streams and then they ask for work. I don't make it difficult. I try not to make it difficult for them to make a purchase or what they're looking for. So if they don't know what they're looking for and they're not sure of what my work is, I always refer to them, look at my streams. Not my streams, my shorts, my TikTok. That should be a good enough indication of what you're getting. If you're still not sure, if you just want to see artwork, not a bunch of sketches and stuff, go to my art station or my Instagram. Most of them are just finished products that's up there. They're just not like just a bunch of practice sketches all the time. There are works there that I've done work of, right? Like, it's not hard. Or you can just type in Artextric character design, and a bunch of character design works I've done on my own of my own work is up there. You can check it yourself, right? And then they'll know what they're getting and what they're purchasing. Like, when they come here and see me doing the VTubing model, they'll tell me how much is the VTubing model, what is this of, why are you doing this? I explain. I can give them a whole explanation on why I'm drawing this character for an auction for people who wants to buy, purchase. I give them a whole explanation on it. I don't give them one-word answers. I don't give them a one-sentence answer and then expect them to figure it out. I think that's dumb as shit. You're supposed to be as cordial, as nice. You have to treat your customers like a delicate rabbit, but they're not an idiot at the same time. Be as understanding to them as possible, and usually they'll do in kind. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a dumbass. He's just making things worse for the sake of being an asshole because he doesn't want to do any work. You're a lazy loser, bro.
Just enjoy your meal.
And then what's funny is it benefits you in the long run, and she gets something out of it. She gets something out of it, you get something out of it. It may not be as a lot as you think, but you eventually will benefit from it and in the long term, and you're gonna like, wow, I'm really glad I gave that girl a chance to work to eat at my restaurant as a collaboration. She really brought like real like work to my establishment. I gotta thank her. Thank you so much. You like, she could have picked anywhere else. She didn't have to pick your place. You know what I'm saying? Like, and she doesn't seem like the type, based on how she's talking and how she's acting, she doesn't seem like an ignorant idiot who's just trying to get free stuff. You can usually tell who's trying to just get free stuff, right? But like, Jesus Christ.
But the restaurant doesn't take this route. In fact, what
Dumbass.
staff does next is so comically stupid and rude, it makes me think this place is ran by like 18-year-old sorority girls
Correct. Thank you. Stupid.
or something.
Then he says, not to be snobby, but do you know who I am? And I say no, because I don't know who he is. He says he's a James Beard Award recipient or finalist or something. And
Why?
I'm like,
Why are you telling me this?
great, like, I don't know what to say to that. And he said that his daughter has 600,000 followers on TikTok and that I'm not at that level.
If your daughter has 600,000 followers, why aren't you asking her to do a collaboration with her? Think that to yourself. Why wouldn't your daughter promote your so-called business? But the stranger with the little bit of numbers is trying to promote your punk ass business. That's how much of a punk ass you are. Think that to yourself. If your daughter has 600,000 and this no name is trying to push your business and you're trying to push the no name out and your daughter's not doing it, you are a punk ass, sir. I hope your business crumbles. I hope your business crumbles. You're an idiot.
He keeps going on. He says that my cooking videos are homey, but he doesn't think I understand what they do at that restaurant. At this point, I'm crying and I want to get out. So I tell him that I'm no longer interested in doing the collab.
That's crazy.
I tell him that I felt disrespected because they were talking about...
I hope she humbles you, sir. I hope she humbles you beyond anything, sir. Or ma'am. Whoever the fuck. They're both sirs. I don't give a shit if it was a woman. I'm going to call you sir as well, sir. I don't give a shit if it was a woman or a man. I'm going to call you a sir. Like that, I feel bad for her. That's a dick move on his behalf. I don't know what or she or they were trying to do, what they were trying to accomplish. Because if your establishment is so great and so fancy, or whatever you're trying to push off, that you have to bring up your accolades like you have something worthy of a shit. Think to yourself, the person that you're trying to shoo away out of your so-called store is trying to promote your business. But your so-called daughter, or whoever the hell you are related to, isn't doing that. That tells you something.
Me right in front of me and belittling my work. And he tells me that he was offended because I came in and didn't introduce myself to him.
The snobbery and rudeness from the employee referenced by Carla would come with great consequence for the restaurant.
Yes,
Carla's
good.
video detailing her encounter with...
Look at that! 29 million! 9 million! Are you serious? Thank you, sir. Thank you. I'm glad that you did what you did. You gave her work. You gave her a lot of views now. And because of that, she probably surpassed your daughter now. Stupid.
These zesty-ass restaurant employees at Kiss Cafe went viral, accumulating over 2 million likes and tens of thousands of comments, expressing disgust at how she had been treated. Soon, the TikTok keyboard militia discovered that the co-founder and chef of the restaurant was a man named Luke Sung, a food service industry veteran and award-winning chef that had been in the restaurant business for decades. This was the manager that was apparently talking down to Carla. People were looking at any outlet to destroy the reputation of the restaurant for its chef's transgressions. And when review bombing didn't satisfy folks, well, they went as far as targeting the co-owner's family. Chef Luke's daughter is a woman named Issa. She's a beauty and lifestyle vlogger, and when the story of her dad's dickish behavior got out,
Bro, I see that picture there. She's showing off some food. Why is she not promoting your dad's restaurant?
At I_love_vodka said this multitasking skill is actually shocking to me.
Is it really? How so? In what way? Are you talking about me? I don't know. I don't think you're referring to me.
or something said hello I.
But hello, I. But like, that's crazy to me.
Issa's TikTok page started getting flamed even though she didn't really have anything to do with any of this. But hey, sins of the father and all. Yes, being snobby and stuck up about his little restaurant had evolved into quite the disaster. As well, Luke found himself out of a job because of his bad attitude.
Dumbass.
In the days following Carla's viral post, Kiss Cafe published this to Instagram, announcing that Luke no longer worked there as chef, noting they were temporarily shutting down operations in an effort to restructure their business. They also seemed to suggest people were being racist to them, but whatever, go off, Queen. They said, statement from the Kiss team. Our chef's behavior was unacceptable and he is no longer
and listening to drama. At I_love_vodka
It's shocking. Is it shocking? Is that a good shocking or that's a bad shocking? I feel like that's a bad thing. Like, I'm trying to entertain, but also pay attention to what I'm doing. Also, while making this VTubing model for the auction. So I don't know if that's a bad thing. It probably is a bad thing.
vodka said good shocking.
Oh, okay. Cool. I like, question.
At I_love_vodka said impressed.
What, like, okay, so I have a question. So, like, the fact that,
_love_vodka asks auction.
yeah, so, okay, so I'm making these VTubing models.
Something said never underestimate someone. They should have just given them what they wanted.
I would have just gave them what they wanted as a good customer. Like, they would appreciate you for in the long run. I would have did that. But to answer your question, yes, this is for an auction. I'm making like 3 or 4 VTubing models. So once they're ready to go, we're going to auction them off as a form of like adoption for those who want to start their VTubing careers. So they'll get the character that they want based on what's there, and then whoever bids for the highest bidder will get that particular. It's only 1 per person, so you can't just say, okay, so you can't be a person their own VTubing model for those who want one. So they can start their VTubing careers or whatever they want to use it for gaming or whatever the reason may be. Now, someone who watches me, who is currently watching, as you said, you're impressed. Would you like to see more of this, like me doing artwork alongside doing these type of videos? Is that something you would like to see more often? I need to put a poll so I know. I'm gonna do it on YouTube, and I'm gonna do it on YouTube.
longer part of the team as co-owner or chef.
You tell me. I still want your opinion.
Or in any other way. As of this post, Luke has reached out to the creator with a personal apology. That behavior does not reflect the remainder of our team. We want to create a space that's welcoming and respectful to everyone. In this instance, we failed to do so. We are closing soon and restructuring after
Why
these
does
events.
this happen?
In the meantime, we hope to still be able to sustain the livelihoods of our team members and their families. Lastly, we understand the frustration and anger, but please do not use this lapse in our values as an opportunity to foment racism and hate speech towards us and our loved ones. One who does deserve credit in all of this is Issa, the daughter of the now disgraced chef. She released a video of her own where she expresses frustration and anger about her dad's behavior and says that she actually pushed him to apologize.
I know I wasn't the one who said those things, but hearing him use me as his daughter to belittle another person,
who's also Asian.
a creator or not, was a complete shock to me and was unacceptable. As a daughter of immigrant parents, I've spent my whole life navigating these dynamics, trying to educate him on regulating his emotions and words, which doesn't excuse anything, but this isn't the first time I felt hurt by his actions.
The whole ordeal garnered national attention as mainstream news outlets began reporting on what had happened. After all, it was quite remarkable. A TikTok video had essentially dissolved an entire business. And the folks behind Kiss would start making some headway in regards to picking up the pieces from that PR disaster. The San Francisco Standard reported that Kiss Cafe would be transformed into a new business without the help or involvement of Luke Song. It was renamed to Bosque and kept the food and vibe of the spot before it. Thankfully, the staff members that worked at Kiss Cafe had been on payroll the entire time, and they got new jobs at the new place. So good on the, restaurant for not screwing the people who didn't do anything out of money. So it was less of a shutdown and more of a rebrand in an effort to distance themselves from that past blunder. Bosque is still open and seems to be doing pretty well for itself, earning a 4.5-star rating on Google, with most people enjoying the food and saying it's a great time. Luke Sung, the man at the center of all this controversy, would eventually speak out with his side of the story. In August, the previously mentioned San Francisco Standard released an interview with the guy where he went into more detail as to what happened. He basically owned up to his mistakes, but did offer a few defenses for himself. When asked about why he decided to sort of dress down the woman and make fun of her TikTok live in the dining room, he said this: "I didn't feel like I was disrespecting Carla. I was actually just doing the research that my partner should have done before she came in. When she said that she felt disrespected, I said I feel disrespected that you don't even know who the chef is. As a collaborator, you're supposed to be representing me." Which
As the chef. Wait, are you the owner? Are you just a chef? If you're just some chef and not the owner, swear to God, bro, you better back the fuck. Yo, I'm telling you. I'm telling you, bro. I'm gonna pop the trunk on this, bro. I swear to God. Like, bro, what are we doing? What are we doing? Like, what? Are you the owner or are you just a chef? Those are two different things.
to me is bullshit. When you delegate tasks, you're the one that's responsible for the failures of those delegated. You fucked up, you don't get the privilege of dressing down someone you invited and humiliating them on the spot.
Yeah,
or
what the
if your employee invited them, it's still the same thing to me. Whatever the case, this situation is wrapped up and Carla has over 500,000 followers.
There
on TikTok.
it is! There it is! You stupid idiots. Good on her. Good on her. Good on her. I hope positive things go down her way. I hope nothing but positive vibes go down her way. I hope she gets all the opportunities that she couldn't get. I hope she gets all the opportunities. That's amazing. That's amazing. And you know what? She conducted herself very professional. I have no problem with anything she did. She did the right thing. She did the right thing.
Read or something said I have to go, but it'll be on Twitch. The VTuber looks very cute and awesome. Good
Thank
night,
you.
Art and everyone here. Have an amazing day or night or afternoon.
All right, there,
And
bro.
Mike has said gonna get some sleep, night, Art and everyone.
Yeah, we're about to finish up anyway. I'll finish in 30 minutes and then I'll jump out.
Spoils of war, you could say. The YouTuber eating a goldfish scandal.
No!
Lewis Cole is a prominent YouTuber mostly known for operating the YouTube channel Fun for Lewis. It's an adventure travel vlog style channel, though he has a bit of history prior to this, with it being quite extensive.
He
The
looks
guy has
familiar.
an entire Wikipedia page dedicated to him, most of it about his YouTube exploits. We could make a whole video about this guy's life, but there's a particular controversy of interest we'll be zooming in on involving, let's just say, a fish. It all began in 2012 with Lewis creating a channel called Food for Lewis. While you might expect this to be some sort of innocent cooking show, that was far from the case. The whole gimmick of the channel was that he would eat some of the most disgusting things imaginable on camera. This was like Epic Mealtime's bizarro alternate timeline cousin. Lewis's greatest hits included him eating a live giant scorpion, eating a tarantula, eating 10 blended mice, and there were even several where he straight up ate roadkill. These videos racked up hundreds of thousands of views. Huge numbers and view totals for the time. A lot of these videos have been deleted for reasons that will soon become obvious, but re-uploads still continue to float around on YouTube for those of you willing to find them. Food for Lewis was raunchy shock food content, comparable to later YouTube uploads like the infamous hair cake video by Filthy Frank, iDubbbz, and Max Mofo. Thinking about it now, I could see them actually being inspired by Lewis's work in making this monstrosity of a video. Lewis was certainly ahead of the curve, at least when it came to this gross out style of food content. He was doing it before anyone else and was on the cutting edge of doing disgusting things for views. While he experienced some smaller
no.
controversies from organizations like PETA, who claimed he was a serial killer because he ate insects while they were alive, the guy
Right?
was able to sort of shirk all of this off. But one video proved
Look, I don't like bugs, but then again, I don't think they deserve just to instantly die for existing. That's kind of messed up.
egregious enough to threaten his career and potentially land him a criminal charge. On April 1st of 2012, Lewis posted a video titled "Eating My Pet Goldfish."
No!
It's pretty self-explanatory, with Lewis taking his pet fish out of its bowl while it was still alive, putting it in his mouth, and chewing and swallowing the thing. Naturally, this goldfish eating video stirred up a great deal of discourse. Even his relatively desensitized fan base thought it was too far. I mean, bugs are one thing, bro, but a pet goldfish? I mean, we're just...
Bro, a pet goldfish. A pet goldfish. You know what? That should... You know what? I'm not gonna lie to you. That should be some type of criminal charge. That should be a criminal charge. Because it's a pet. There's a big difference between a food and a pet. That's like me buying a cat and then blending that cat when I take it home. That's not why I bought the cat for. That's not exactly why those people sold me the cat. You know what I'm saying?
Read or something said my poor bug friends deserve better.
At
Mike has said that some serial killer
activity. Yes, that is sick, dude. That's not even funny. That's not even clever, bro. What is this?
Just a few inches away from this dude chopping up a fucking cat. The goldfish video resulted in massive outrage, even in the mainstream press, the stunt being covered scathingly by many outlets. A piece written for The Guardian by a journalist named Oliver Thring actually interviewed Cole, wanting to get to the bottom of why he was doing all of these vile eating challenges. In the article, he tries to explain himself and attempts to justify...
This is the moment where PETA is actually right. I would actually agree with them. It's one thing if you bought a fish from the store, like literally from like a dead fish to eat, because that's what that was for. But when you buy a literal goldfish, a pet fish, it's categorized as something that is not worth eating, but something to protect as much as possible. And you go and eat it for a video. Something about that seems extremely sickening about that, because you should treat a pet fish the same as a pet kitten, or a pet mouse, or a tarantula. You're not taking a tarantula home to blend it up to drink it. You're not taking a tarantula home to smash it up for your YouTube video. Something about that seems extremely sickening, because you are under oath to protect that thing. That's the whole point of it being a pet. You trying to cook it and eat it something seems really vile about that. No, bro. I don't fuck with that, yo. No. Even thinking about it bothers me. That like, I wouldn't want that to happen to a tarantula. I don't like bugs like that. I don't think they deserve to die just no reason. That's wild. Everything deserves to live one way or another. Even if you think it's ugly or creepy or weird looking, it didn't do nothing to you. What the fuck?
Animal cruelty. Lewis said he originally began uploading content for no other reason as to get as many views as possible, being inspired by previous dares from friends to eat insects.
Oh my God.
Though he denied what he was doing was cruel. Quote, "I don't want to inflict any pain on these animals, which is why I try to kill them instantly. In all of my videos, every animal dies within 5 seconds. Obviously, we need to treat animals ethically. But a much bigger problem is
says the dude eating the one that's alive. The irony in this response is crazy. Bro, do you not hear yourself? This is not like you're doing a pestilence type problem where you're getting rid of there's like a pesticide or a pest problem where you have to get rid of these animals who don't belong here, like the warthog thing that you know I'm talking about on YouTube. Or you're or in Florida, there's a bunch of like lizards you have to kill off because they're not supposed to be there. Because it's not like you can just ask them to leave. They're not going to leave. They're animals, right? So you have to get rid of them one way or another. That makes sense, because if they keep populating, they're going to disrupt the ecosystem. So you have to kill them. It's not like you can just talk to a lizard and say, "Hey, Mr. Lizard, I think you need to take your passport and go back to where you came from," because obviously, you know, your species is disrupting the rest of the other ecosystem for the other animals to survive. Can't do that. So you either have to kill it or just take them, wrap them amongst a bunch of them, and then chuck them back where they came from. But that's going to be hard to do, especially if they're hiding and they're hard to spot. They're going to be just mating at that point. But this is a pet. This is a pet. That's what makes this sick.
Addressing human problems around the world like extreme poverty or the conditions that people are living in. Bro is literally using the starving children in Africa to defend him killing a goldfish on YouTube.
Yes, he is.
He also makes a laughably half-baked criticism towards those calling him an animal abuser, pointing out that the majority of those people probably ate meat, which is true, but a non sequitur argument in that people are not also filming themselves and publishing the demise of said animals for online clicks and content.
Yes, that's a difference.
It's not an apples to apples argument. This interview did little to quell the inquiries into him, especially ones launched by animal advocacy groups, the most serious of which coming from the Royal Society of the Prevention
said, "Hey uncle."
Yeah, that's good.
of Cruelty to Animals, or RSPCA.
That's
for short.
crazy, dude.
Daily
I
Mail
can't.
reported that this group had launched an official inquiry into Lewis's actions towards animals, characterizing what he did as animal cruelty, and they were threatening police involvement. The RSPCA reportedly sent a letter to Lewis, claiming that he was facing a €20,000 fine or perhaps even serious prison time for his alleged offense. Though I must point out that this group is not an official government body and really has no authority to levy such penalties. They were essentially just giving lip service and say, hey, we might file a lawsuit against you. And as you might expect, no official law enforcement inquiry would actually occur. The controversy did severely tarnish Lewis's reputation, though. Despite surviving this media controversy, Lewis emerged from all of this with some guilt. In fact, he would later shift his focus away from the outrageous food-related stunt videos and dedicate his efforts to something more wholesome in terms of content creation. That being travel videos posted to the newer Fun for Lewis YouTube channel. That channel remains quite popular to this day. The irony to all of this is that Lewis, the man blown up for eating a goldfish, is now a self-described vegan. I guess all is forgiven, right? And well, you made it to the end.
Wow. Use a hoe.
Let me know what you guys thought about this video down below in the comment section, and let me know who or what you want me to talk about next. I want to give a major shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys. Wavy Web Surf out. Peace.
I don't know, man. I don't know. That one don't really sit well with me. That really bothers me. You ate a fish on, like, imagine being the fish. Imagine being the fish. That must have been the most terrifying thing ever.
Hater said California girls were unforgettable.
It's to TwitchCon spinal injuries and stalkers at anime expos, tournaments and conventions have been hosts to a wide range of scandals over the years. And yeah, you guys might know the big ones, but today I've got an obscure collection for you. The missing magic cards. Welcome to Gen Con. It's North America's largest tabletop gaming convention. This is a Magic the Gathering enthusiast's dream come true. Every year, thousands of players and fans collide in an orgy of card trading, dueling, merchandise shilling, and erotic cosplaying. At these events, not a stick of deodorant can be found, but kinship and friendly folks are aplenty. Well, with the exception of Gen Con 2023, the heist. The date was August 2nd, one day prior to the commencement of Gen.
Let me see. Let me see. Let me see.
Con festivities at the Indiana Convention Center in Indianapolis. Convention hosts and attendees were busy setting up the show floor, and many vendors scurried about, putting together their booths and stocking them with cards and merchandise. The day progresses without much of a hitch until one of these vendors notices something missing. A vendor representing Pastime Comics and Games, an Illinois-based games outfit, had briefly stepped away from constructing their booth setup, only to come back finding that an entire pallet, stacked to the brim with his stock of Magic the Gathering cards, was missing. a hoard of sealed collectible cards supposedly worth $300,000 in retail value. John Temple, the manager of Pastimes, suddenly found himself missing a home's worth of assets in a matter of minutes. Despite their name, magic cards don't whimsically disappear into thin air, and Jason Temple quickly came to the conclusion that somebody must have stolen them. But how does a giant pallet, a block of cards like this, just suddenly go missing without no one noticing? The distraught game store manager went to the police over the matter, who promptly opened an investigation into what had become the biggest trading card theft in history. And what police later uncovered in their inquiry was a crime of brazen stupidity the likes of which had never been witnessed in the world of geeky collectibles. Several days after the festivities of Gen Con had concluded, police discovered security footage from the venue, showing two men rather conspicuously hijacking a pallet of wrapped magic cards that belonged to John's company, leisurely moving these cards through a hotel connected to the event venue and then into that hotel's parking garage. The Magic Marauders then loaded the stolen booty into the back of a 2023 Nissan Murano, a getaway vehicle that was later spotted driving away from the Gen Con venue with said Magic the Gathering boxes visibly sticking out of the back of it. The most baffling thing to come from this surveillance footage was the confirmation that these thieves literally did just walk up with the pallet jack in the middle of a crowded showroom and steal it with absolutely nobody noticing what was happening. I mean, if you try to do this at a Walmart, you're going to leave that place with 2 felonies and a black eye. An employee from John Temple's game store remarked on the absurd surveillance findings. Quote, "The amount of either courage or bluffing skills that someone would have to just walk into Gen Con and take a pallet and no one stops them, I don't think anyone I know would have the nerve to go in and do that." Well, buddy, it appears that's exactly what happened. And while the mystery culprit's lackadaisical approach may have been successful in stealing the Magic the Gathering pallet, it wasn't so effective when it came to liquidating the pallet for cash. The big break in this case occurred several weeks after the heist, when a New York-based attorney got into contact with the Indianapolis police, claiming he was representing a client who had recently purchased a pallet filled to the brim with magic cards. Probably just a coincidence, right? The client bought this pallet from some admittedly shady individuals for $4,000, a price he thought was a total bargain. That was until he later saw the news and realized the pallet that he had purchased was likely the infamous missing one from Gen Con. Not wanting to be implicated as, one of the Gen Con thieves, that's when the guy got in touch with the lawyer, resulting in the call to police. On August 25th, the man's attorney invited the police to his office, wanting to show them his client's hoard of potential trading card contraband. Cops would come in and search the comically sized pile of merchandise, which consisted of 115 boxes of Magic the Gathering cards, along with Dungeons and Dragons books and guides, a trove of collectible goodies that matched up with exactly what John Temple was missing from Gen Con. Using information given from the sap who purchased the pallet, along with additional forensic research, the two
You missed the past one. Should have heard what we was listening to the last one.
Two suspects were identified soon after, those individuals being 40-year-old Thomas Dunbar and 41-year-old Andrew Giam. So the Gen Con thieves had finally been busted, but the big question that remained was, how did our ginger friend and his suave associate here have badges and access to the convention floor during the vendor-exclusive period to begin with?
It was an inside job.
I'd imagine that they used some inside connection to sneak
there it is! Had to be an inside job. How did they get all that stuff and just walk away with it? They had to have some form of inside job to get near it. Have some type of clearance thing around their necks, so when people saw it, he'd probably just put it up to them. Caught it right there. No, I have never seen this video. Jesus Christ, that was perfect. But Jesus Christ.
Place, or perhaps pilfered some badges off of some.
What is that? Oh. Thank you.
Someone else and slipped by security with false credentials. Well, while not quite that dramatic, the truth of the matter is certainly far more ridiculous and stupid. And on top of that, if you can believe it, these two guys were actually vendors themselves. Thomas and Andrew were surprisingly somewhat well known in the tabletop gaming scene, the two being responsible for developing and merchandising their own tabletop game called Castle Assault, which is an RPG tower defense tabletop. A game that was rather hilariously funded by a sum of $30,000 generously awarded to them from other kind-hearted tabletop community members in a viral Kickstarter campaign in 2016. These guys have a lot of nerve taking that pallet. I mean, talk about giving back to the community. Jesus. The two gained early access to Gen Con as many other vendors did, with them being there under the premise of promoting their tabletop game, though it seems as though there may have been some sort of premeditation involved, as they actually registered for their badges under the aliases Scott Fisher and Ashriel Lockhart. Either they were engaging in some high-level IRL role-playing, or perhaps they had a specific illegal plan in mind and didn't want to be identified later. I mean, Ashriel Lockhart? That sounds like something I would name my fucking paladin on Baldur's Gate. With early access to the convention, they had free reign to muck about while everyone was getting ready, and they just so happened to stumble upon John Temple's unattended magic card palette, with a pallet jack attached to it. And, well, the rest is history. When cops finally got him, they looked at their fellow officers and said, "Just like the good old days, boys, it's time to shove some nerds in a locker." In early September of 2023, both Thomas and Andrew were arrested and charged with felony theft. They were facing 6 years in prison and $10,000 in fines at the time. In May of 2025, Thomas Dunbar pled guilty to a lesser charge and was sentenced to 2 years of probation and was ordered to pay restitution to Alec Hochman, the president of Pastime Games, along with $27,141 to Wizards of the Coast. 40 hours of community service was tacked on to all of this, and the man was also compelled to write an apology letter to the Gen Con community. Andrew Giam is still making his way through the court system and has a trial date set for July of 2025. It's impressive to me how half-baked this heist was and how close they were to actually getting away with it fully. I mean, the balls on these dudes to just stroll out with a fucking pallet, bro, and then later try to sell the cards. That takes a special kind of idiot. Though even dumber is the subject of our next story, an individual who went to jail over a dispute regarding a convention seat. It's a story that involves Comic-Con, an ink pen, Seth Rogen, and somebody's eyeball. The Comic-Con eye stabbing incident.
Oh my God.
The date is July 24th, 2010, around 5 p.m. Location, Hall H inside San Diego Comic-Con. The room was packed to the gills. About 6,500 people were inside, and everyone was there for the star-studded movie panels taking place throughout the day. And you'll never guess what the most hyped and anticipated panel was. It was for the movie Paul. Yeah. The movie where Seth Rogen plays an alien that escapes Area 51 and smokes weed and cusses.
You guys partake?
As a panel for the latest Resident Evil movie was nearing its end, Seth Rogen and the cast of Paul were set to take the stage. And you know, this is the era of like peak Pineapple Express knocked up Seth Rogen. So the crowd starts going nuts and there's something of a struggle as additional people enter the hall to try to get a seat. Things quickly get violent. A scuffle breaks out as two men try to get a front row seat for the iconic Rogen laugh. And when words don't solve the dispute, one of these men produces an ink pen from his pocket and with swordsman-like precision stabs his rival Rogen enjoyer directly in the eyeball.
Oh my God. Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord, are you serious? Dude, is it that serious? Holy shite. Oh my God. Oh God.
with the pin. With the Comic-Con combatant wounded, shocked attendees nearby step in and break up the two. You know, I have to say, a guy getting stabbed in the eye at the end of a Resident Evil panel seems rather fitting. The maimed Paul enjoyer is then taken out on a stretcher and sent to the University of California at San Diego Hospital, where he was treated for a laceration to his eyelid. Thankfully, he wasn't permanently blinded from the stabbing. The pin-wielding attacker, who went unnamed...
Bro, imagine getting stabbed in the eye with full force. With a pen. Oh my... He was not playing for that to happen on his day. I'm telling you, at Comic-Con of all places. The last place you think you're gonna get stabbed in the eye is fucking Comic-Con. Oh, that must... That blows cheeks, bro.
...in reports, was subsequently arrested and charged with assault. The man was seen wearing a Harry Potter shirt as he was escorted off of the premises and to jail by police. In a video which I previously would assume to have been lost media, a man actually recorded the scene at Comic-Con as the attacker was being escorted away. The videographer is initially confused at what's occurred, but others in attendance progressively fill him in on what happened as the footage goes on. Take a look.
So Hall H is actually closed. That's why these people are booing. Oh, I guess. Oh, he got arrested for something. I don't know. Anyway, something happened. But anyway, Hall H is closed. So, where's Crystal? What's going on here? What happened?
I got arrested.
For what?
I don't know. He was over there in cuffs for a while.
So tell him what happened to Hall H.
Apparently there's a health emergency and Hall H is closed indefinitely.
And so basically, the guy in there stabbed
The guy
somebody?
who was getting walked away in handcuffs, who had blood on his shirt, stabbed somebody in the Hall H in the Resident Evil.
Just like some random person?
Yeah, I don't know. That's all I know.
Oh my. What happened was that that man stabbed another person in the face with a pin over a seat in the Resident Evil panel.
Jesus
At
Christ.
Hall H at Comic-Con.
Eventually, Hall H would open back up and the panel for Paul would commence. And while I can't find any footage of cast members or Seth Rogen addressing the stabbing incident, in a subsequent panel for the first Avengers movie, Robert Downey Jr. does make a quip regarding it. Based Reddit moment.
Don't anybody stab anybody anywhere until I'm done talking.
The following day, Comic-Con's marketing and PR director would make a statement to a journalist regarding the attack, further clarifying what happened during the incident.
What happened yesterday with the incident, Resident Evil, the stabbing?
Yeah, there was an incident in the Hall H in between panels. From what we understand, two friends got into an altercation, and the police were there very quickly, security was there very quickly, shut it down. I think the whole thing took about 40 minutes from the time it started to the time we were able to go ahead and resume programming in there.
From what I understand, the victim of the stabbing made a full recovery and the rest of Comic-Con went on without a hitch. The incident going down as a landmark case of criminal activity, at least in terms of Comic-Con. Was it worth all of that for a fucking Seth Rogen meet and greet?
No.
He just needed one laugh. It was fucking worth it.
And Seth Rogen's not even funny anymore, so that's even worse.
So we've got a patient with an ink pen jammed into his eye down the hallway, so I won't keep you too long here. Finding a healthcare provider can be a stressful process, and I think we can all relate to that uneasy feeling of going in blind to a doctor you've never met before.
Eye stabbings would only be the
Two friends got into an altercation. Yes, an altercation. A small altercation.
beginning of absurd violence taking place at Comic-Con. Next, we move to one of the most infamous cases, involving a man plowing over a parade of zombie walkers. Deaf man runs over zombie role players. On July 26, 2014, San Diego Comic-Con's Zombie Walk event was underway. The event is self-explanatory. Folks dress up like zombies, group up together, and stagger about in the street outside of Comic-Con, making the place look like a scene out of Walking Dead, but like one of the good early seasons. However, one motorist on the road apparently didn't get the memo about Zombie Walk. 48-year-old Matthew Pachi was on his way with his girlfriend and some family members to Comic-Con. Approaching
Bro had a schizophrenic moment and thought this was the apocalypse was happening, and he just hit the gas.
The venue right as the zombie
sure.
walk was taking place. Matthew, who I should note is deaf.
Or probably they kind of walked up on his car, he freaked out, not knowing what was going on, and he just hit the gas. That's probably what happened.
At some point got confused as to where he was supposed to go and ended up driving into the area where the zombie walkers were romping about. The deaf driver, unable to pass through the crowd, gets frustrated and starts laying on his horn in an effort to get him to move. Naturally, this upsets the walkers who are rightfully occupying the intersection for the scheduled event. Agitated, some of them begin banging on his vehicle, and when two zombie-dressed men jump on the hood of his car, the driver loses his composure and plows over the walkers. Matthew's freakout sent multiple people flying. One woman was seriously injured, thrown to the ground with a broken arm, and blood was reportedly flowing from her body. The man drove for a few more blocks until eventually calming down and thankfully stopping before anyone else got injured. Police quickly approached and detained him. At the time, cops didn't charge Matthew, but after viewing the footage, he was arrested and hit with one felony count of reckless driving. Upon being arrested, the deaf man told police, quote, "I don't understand what the big deal is. Isn't this what happens to zombies in the movies?"
He did not say that. He did not say that. He did not say that. There's no way he said that. No way he said that shit. This man's an idiot. You're a moron. You are an idiot, sir. You could have killed somebody. And that's what you say? He did not say this. You're deaf? That's like saying, oh, well, you're deaf, so you probably didn't understand what's going on because you're so deaf. Remember to say, the impaired individual saying this. That's crazy.
They get ran over and crushed by cars. I was only contributing to the realism of the event.
Wow. I'm telling you, this man should lose his license. You should be charged with attempted manslaughter. You should be literally you should be charged with attempted manslaughter. For that response right there tells me you're not deemed to drive. You are not allowed to be behind no wheel. You're a moron.
I'm kidding.
You're an idiot.
Don't sue me. In court, the obvious question was if
he's
Matthew,
kidding? Oh no, he's kidding? Okay, never mind. I fell for it.
A hearing impaired man was genuinely confused and in fear for his safety when being crowded by the zombie walkers and plowing over them. If that was the case, his culpability would be reduced. Matthew testified in court, claiming that he was in fear while stuck in the crowd. Here he is in court signing his explanation for his actions.
The punching of the windshield, everything that was happening in the car, I just felt the car door open on the passenger side. My wife screamed because the back, there was, somebody was against the door, and we panicked and we just went forward. A bump, and I didn't know what it was. I thought it was the curb.
He did express remorse for the woman who was injured, signing to the court this message of sympathy.
I could not get her off my mind.
On November 4th, 2015, the jury found Matthew guilty for his crime, and he was facing up to 3 years in prison. However, some leniency was shown by the judge given his remorse and the circumstances regarding his hearing impairment. On December 11th, 2015, Matthew was sentenced to 3 years of probation, 60 days of home confinement, and 120 hours of community service. Cosplayers may have been the victims in the zombie walk story, but in our next case, a group of furries banded together and went on the attack.
Here we go.
Furries beat the shit out of a domestic abuser. FurCon is an annual furry convention held in San Jose, California, where thousands of furry enthusiasts
Oh my god, what the... Oh my god.
To masquerade as their animal avatars. While typical headline stories about furries involve pedophilia or animal abuse, this one actually has the furries shutting down an abuser. It all takes place on the evening of January 18th, just outside of the FurCon venue. Witnesses on the street reported seeing a car burning out and driving erratically in a hotel parking lot just up the road on South Market Street. The car then takes to the main road, and furries who were lingering about suddenly hear a woman screaming for help, yelling, "Get out, get out, get out." The vehicle parked close by FurCon, and that's when the group of furries saw that inside the vehicle, a young woman was in the driver's seat, and she was being beaten on by a male passenger, the guy punching her in the face multiple times. Little did this guy know, he had picked the absolute worst place to domestic assault, as these furries were no joke.
My whole life, a bunch of Taekwondo and Shotokan karate.
Why do you all look like this? Why, yo? Like, I'm not taking away that they did something heroic. I'm not taking that away from them. I'm not saying that. Good on the furries for saving the day, but like, why do y'all look like this? Y'all look like this. Some anime people be looking like this too. Like, what the fuck?
Enraged, the animal pack swarmed the car, ripping the assailant from his seat and onto the curb. A person wearing a pink dragon fursuit subdues the puncher, as others join in to take shots and restrain him.
Hey, no, Joe, no, Joe, stop!
I told you.
Joe,
She's safe now. Put that down and let's go.
Joe.
What the fuck is holding the camera? I hate y'all. I hate y'all. I hate all you. I hate all you who hold a goddamn phone. Oh my god. Not recording anything. Huh? Let me see. Hey, Bianca, what's going on? They don't, like, if you're gonna at least record, aim where you're recording. Stop staring at the floor. Ugh. Hey, Bianca, how are you doing, hon?
It's reported that after getting the better of the woman beater, one of the furries sat on the man's body to keep him restrained as nearby animal assistants called police. The immense weight of the furry subdued the attacker for the time, and the woman who was assaulted drove off before police came.
I was able to grab him by the back, pull him out of the vehicle, and put him onto the ground.
The guy who had gotten his ass beaten by a group of furries was later identified.
Oh, bro, it sucks to be you. It's gonna be fun when your friends make fun of you.
As 22-year-old Dimitri Hardnett, and he was arrested and charged with domestic violence.
Oh shit, you beating on women and you got beat out on furries. Those are two things you don't want on your resume. Those are two things you don't want on your resume, bro. You out here beating on women and also getting beaten on by furries? Oh, bro.
After being taken to the
How demasculizing and... Oh, God.
To Clara County Jail. It was later determined the woman that the furry saved was this guy's girlfriend, though the matter of the dispute and what caused it, I have no idea. I think this is just some piece of shit that thinks it's okay to beat on a woman if you get in a disagreement. Well, motherfucker, why don't you get beat up by some goddamn furries again? Whatever the case, if you decide to be a piece of shit woman beater, you better not do it in front of the furries, because if you do, these guys will give you a humiliating reality check.
You got some humanity as well. I mean, I think it's also just sort of a natural thing to just want to help somebody in need.
The Roblox develop.
They have to be interviewed in the outfit. Bro. They have to interview them in the outfit. It just kind of cheapens the whole heroic part about it. if you like showed yourself as like a regular person who claims to be a furry, I think a lot of people will be like, oh, they're normal people. But when you're in the outfit and you're trying to be serious, it's hard to take it serious. It just cheapens the whole thing.
Developers Conference is an annual convention held at the Fort Mason Center for Arts and Culture in San Francisco. It's an invite-only professional event focused on Roblox developers, creators, and brands. Mikhail Olsen, known in the Roblox community as SimBuilder, is a famous Roblox community developer known for creating the Roblox Vehicle Simulator, one of the more notable player developers.
Oh, you're not rinsing me today. You're not doing this. We're not doing this. I gotta get off in 5 minutes. You better stop. You stop this. Bianca, I swear to God. You stop this now. You ain't rinsing me today. You ain't flustering me today.
Games on the platform. Mikhail has been in the Roblox community since he was a child, joining the game back in September of 2008. But at the 2023 convention, he was about to become known for something far more concerning. It all begins outside of the RDC convention grounds when SimBuilder was confronted by police and abruptly arrested. Apparently, the children's game developer had attempted to access a restricted invitation-only event, and when refused by security, something of a dispute broke out, resulting in police detaining him. Video footage of the seemingly unhinged kids game creator shows the moment he's being...
No, my avatar is handsome. He's a cutie. Look at this face. Will this face lie to you? So cute. I'm a cutie. But me? No, I look like a goblin.
Escorted away by police. And as you're about to see, he gets...
I look like a goblin's anus.
Testy with the officers, resulting in him being taken to a squad car.
Piece of shit. Yes! SimBuilder's fighting the cops. SimBuilder's fighting the fucking SimBuilder's fighting the police. SimBuilder's fighting the fucking cops. Yeah!
What the hell is going on?
The man's vehicle was searched. Turns out Mikhail also allegedly had a concealed firearm in his vehicle and some ammunition.
Stop. I want this. You saw that else, I swear.
That was troubling to police. He was charged with having a concealed firearm in a vehicle, leaving a handgun in an unattended vehicle, possession of armor-piercing ammunition, and large-capacity magazine activity. Sometime after this incident, Roblox convention staff canceled the headline Roblox Innovation Awards event, citing security concerns. Roblox itself was apparently pretty upset with our SimBuilder friend here. A few weeks after the gun incident, YouTuber Green Lego Cats 123 reported that Roblox had quietly terminated SimBuilder's Roblox developer account. His vehicle simulator was left up as a playable experience, but he was gone.
Thank you for
Though
the
because
kind
he was
words.
terminated, Mikhail would no longer receive any sort of revenue for his game, effectively meaning the guy had lost his job over this bizarre firearms possession and altercation with security. SimBuilder would stay in jail as his trial proceeded. Eventually, his charges were downgraded from a felony to a misdemeanor. And on September 13th, 2024, after pleading no contest, he was sentenced to time that he had already served, spending a total of a year in county jail over this matter. On September 15th, 2024, Mikhail, from his SimBuilder Twitter account, tweeted out that the police had finally released him. At a glance, this story looks as if police had stopped a potentially dangerous shooter. But according to Mikhail, he had no such violent plan, and the whole thing was an overblown shakedown that ruined his life. A few months ago, on February 21st, 2025, SimBuilder published a video to his Twitter, telling his side of the story from this whole affair. He said that he had the gun because he felt like he needed protection while driving through Oakland, California. He also denied...
Yes, you do a great job of that. Thank you, hon. Thank you, I appreciate it.
that he planned to attack the Roblox convention or anything, and said that he was going to be suing Roblox for a wrongful termination if they didn't make this right.
First and foremost, I was invited to RDC 23. That is a fact. However, I arrived a day late without a lanyard. When I got there, I tried to show security who I was, providing proof of my account and identity. Despite this, they refused to listen. During this process, security discovered a single firearm in my vehicle. It was a Glock 19. And let me be very clear. This was not an illegal or black market firearm. It was legally registered in Arizona, the state where I reside. The reason I had a firearm in the first place is because of Oakland, California, nearby where the conference was being held. One of the highest crime rates in America. Carjackings, thefts, and violent crimes are a serious problem there. My decision to carry was purely for personal protection, not for anything malicious. I did not go to RDC to harm anybody. Some are claiming that I bought the firearm to assassinate the CEO of GameFam or commit an act of violence at RDC. This was completely false. Another rumor suggests that RDC was shut down because of me. This was also completely false. RDC was canceled due to online threats made on Twitter at the time, which had nothing to do with me. While I was locked away, Roblox took advantage of my absence to ban my account and strip me of my game and revenue from Vehicle Simulator. In my next steps, this entire situation, a massive injustice, I will not stand for it. I am demanding that Roblox unban my account and return my game assets to me. If they fail to do so, or if they fail to disclose my studio hours, I will be pursuing legal action against Roblox for wrongful termination, IP theft, fraud, and damages caused by their decision to ban me unjustly.
In a reply to his video, SimBuilder also stated that he never hit or punched a police.
Hey! 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 Wait, am I closing my eyes again? I hate when that happens. But, hey. Hey. I'm not sleeping. It's just, I hate that my Abby does that thing where I'm moving my head down and the camera thinks I'm sleeping or my eyes are closed. I'm not sleeping.
Officer, and that he wasn't charged with assault towards an officer, which is actually true. The stupid, sad music behind your video is a great touch, by the way. Mikkel, I'm sure this is going to get you unbanned. The Roblox community is known to harbor its fair share of child predators, but did you know that professional bowling has a few pedophiles in the mix too? Time for another tournament-related story. The bowling tournament pedo. 35-year-old Brandon Novak of Ohio was a notable bowler with many accolades in the sport, competing in professional bowling tournaments for a span of a decade. In 2016, he won the USBC Open Championship, and throughout his career had finished first in many tournaments, including ones taking place in 2014, 2015, 2016, and 2020. While Brandon is certainly well known for his bowling accomplishments, he's also rather infamous in the world of bowling tournaments for something else. That being the fact that he was arrested on live television for CP charges at an event. What you are seeing on screen now is a clip from the 2024 US Open, a prestigious bowling tournament that takes place every year and is broadcasted on television nationally in the United States. Without context, this clip is unremarkable. What is remarkable about it actually takes place
Smirking face emoji.
Off screen to the right, as at this moment, Brandon Novak, bowling extraordinaire, is being arrested. You can see bowler Chris Prather sort of stepping aside and looking over at the man's detainment as the commentators do their best to not draw any attention to the bizarre circumstance.
No, it was great. Parker saw that what we were going through, and you know, honestly, it was nice having Bolin next to Justin and having Parker there to talk to when I needed someone to talk to. And boy, there was some times when I needed someone to talk to. And we all know that
They see
this
it.
thing was really hard.
Turns out, several months prior to entering this tournament, Ross County, Ohio police had put out a warrant for the guy's arrest under suspicion of him possessing CP, allegedly sharing this material on Facebook. Authorities initially had difficulty in locating the man and making an arrest, but when they learned of his tournament attendance and him being there on live television, U.S. Marshals knew exactly where to find him, and at the tournament, they got their arrest. During interviews with police, Brandon would claim that he had purchased porn from someone on Snapchat and was unaware of the fact that there were nude images of children in it. However, he'd later recant that statement, saying that he was in fact aware of the illegal images and had taken steps to conceal them. Later that year, in April of 2024, Brandon would plead guilty to 15 CSAM-related charges, and in June of 2024, he was sentenced to 13 years and 3 months in prison. The man was also compelled to register as a Tier 2 sex offender, which means he'll be on the registry for 25 years with no legal way to appeal this.
Bianca, red heart emoji, smiling face with hearts emoji. Zoom zoom very much.
Ooh. 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 That's... It's one thing to be on the list. It's another thing to be a tier 2 tier 2 member. Oh. Vroom art. Hey, stop it. Stop it.
Thankfully, when it came to this guy's prosecution, he wasn't spared. Another striking story is that of a guy who got busted with an assault rifle on the way to a convention. This takes place on January 25th, 2025 at the Whitechapel train station in London, England. Travelers became concerned after noticing a man outside of the train dressed in tactical military garb, brandishing and pointing around what appeared to be an assault rifle. Great! Another mass shooting. Someone got their phone out and recorded the would-be shooter, who was seemingly preparing for something big. Now you might be wondering why nobody in the train station is freaking out. Well, big reveal. This guy was LARPing, and the AR was an airsoft replica. He was on his way to MegaCon, a Comic-Con style event taking place at the London Excel Center. And other people on the train were going there too, so, you know, they kind of were in the know of why there was a fucking Black Ops character doing emotes on the train. The British Transport Police later commented on the Twitter video that went viral. Every year around Comic-Con, we receive reports from people who have been alarmed by weapons being carried on the train. We assess and respond to every call we receive about a weapon. A police response can cause disruption and alarm to passengers, and if it's a prop, may mean that you've kept us away from more important incidents. For your sake and that of everyone else on the train, no matter how unrealistic you think they look, please keep your prop weapons out of sight while traveling. Police later caught up with the airsoft-wielding man who was described as being from South London and in his 20s. They actually arrested him on a ridiculous charge called suspicion of possession of an imitation firearm with intent to cause fear or violence. And he also got another count of possessing an offensive weapon. The guy was later released on bail, and as far as I can find, I don't think he was criminally prosecuted in any serious way. And that concludes our...
Yeah, dude, I'm not going to lie to you. Okay. This is a hard one because it's... I think if you're gonna go as a military or a military-ass LARPer / cosplayer, I think the best thing to do is to literally change in your clothes when it comes to... I don't know. When you're at the building. It will be less problematic. But if you're going there, like, you know, I get it. You're trying to get there before the place opens or it's open. You gotta be understand. You're like, no one's gonna take someone who dresses like a wizard with a giant wizard staff seriously and like a threat compared to a military person who look like they're carrying an AR M16. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta put that in context. Yes, you know it's fake, but they don't know it's fake. Especially people who don't know what Comic-Con is or don't attend or not paying attention to that shit. You gotta keep that in mind. So, like, I suggest if you're gonna go as someone military-wise, I suggest if you have any type of weapons, bring it into a fake briefcase. You know what I'm saying? People are not gonna think you're crazy or military. You have a briefcase or something. Like there's things for this, but like then you gotta carry the briefcase. That'll suck.
Our investigation of obscure convention and tournament controversies. Make sure you let me know who or what you want me to talk about next in the comments section. And I want to give a major shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys. Wavy Web Surf out. Peace.
All right, guys, I'm done. The character is pretty much at her peak. I just need to just label everything
Angelic
correctly.
face emoji, red heart emoji, Bianca, red heart emoji, smiling face with hearts emoji, Sedu the stutter art. I am getting to you and it's past 5 minutes.
It's past 5 minutes. I know, I gotta jump off now. But I think we did a great job. We have auction 1 and I have auction 2. I have to put in her eyes. I'll draw them out. I'll draw out the eyes tomorrow if I'm here tomorrow. But yeah, I'm pretty much done. This one's pretty much done. We just need to give her some eyes and put the eye whites and all that great stuff. So yeah. But anyway, I'll let you guys go. Have a good night. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate every last one of
Angelic face emoji, red heart emoji, Bianca, red heart emoji, smiling face with hearts emoji, said okay so I can't wait to riz you next time. Captain Jules said I haven't seen this streamer in years.
Yeah. So with that said, have a great night. I'll see you
Angelic
guys
face
in the next
emoji,
one.
red heart emoji,
Keep
Bianca,
safe.
red heart emoji,
Keep
smiling
trying.
face with hearts emoji, said stop winking at me.
Keep trying, keep practicing, and have a great night. Keep safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Thank you, Bianca, for coming in and saying hi. I appreciate it, hon. All right, I'm out. See you guys in the next one. Bye-bye!